Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Sorry, I would have started a little sooner. I was looking for headphones and I could not find any. So I'm just hoping that the feedback noise isn't too bad. How does it sound on your end?
You sound clear. What
All
about
right.
me? Is this okay?
Yeah, you sound clear as well. I figured as long as I found quiet and as long as keep the volume down on my phone, then there shouldn't be too much feedback. So I think we should be set to go.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. How much of editing have you done before?
I've done like as amateur video editing as you can get for years now. I've done like school projects where I've had to edit videos. I had a YouTube channel when I was in like sixth grade, and but like understand then that like that is probably the extent of where the knowledge is coming from. I haven't seen like growth since 2009 in
It's been a steady
Windows Movie
plateau.
Maker. Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems. I
sure.
think we might be dealing with the same level of competency, but it got me a couple A's in college, so hopefully it'll still be okay.
Yeah, man, that's more than me. So you are steering this ship.
Our, yeah, it's exciting. I am glad to get Thrillinois off the ground. I want to do this.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. So I think to kick this off, because I was thinking about this, what was the scenario? What was the straw that broke your back that said, I am going to start doing this? Because it almost seemed out of nowhere how we've talked about starting a podcast for like a year or so and played with the idea. And then one day you have an account set up for it and a Gmail. And what was the moment that pushed you over the edge?
I think in my life, I've been guilty of saying I'm going to do things and then not following up on it or
Hmm.
starting something and not finishing it. And I felt like this was something I really wanted to do and not something I wanted to let that be another thing that, oh, I just talked about it, but I lost interest right away. I thought the only way this is going to happen is if it's already in motion. The only one who's going to do that is the person that wants to do it. And I want to do it. And I said, I'm going to set it up now. Anyone who wants to join me may join me. And you've wanted to do it since day one. And I wanted to do something about it. So I thought, well, how hard is it to set up a Gmail? How hard is it to set up a Twitter, an Instagram, a Patreon, shit like that? So if it's at least in existence, how hard can it be then to just push it?
Yeah, I got it. I remember getting that, like looking at that text. I was on 294 and I was flying in the left lane, and I got the text and like I couldn't tell you how happy I was. Like, oh, it's happening. Like that's as much motion as I need to so we can get this going. And I love that. I was the first podcast I listened to was with the McElroy brothers, my brother and my brother and me. And it was a comedy podcast. And it started because they're really tight with each other, but they all moved. One of them moved to Chicago, one of them stayed in Virginia, and one moved to like Texas or something. And they wanted to stay in touch. And so they started just like video chatting each other. This is like 2012, mind you, in the infancy. And they did it enough that they're like, hey, maybe we should like spice it up. Let's read Yahoos. And then that just like snowballed into something. So what I'm trying to get at is that I know we have some points to make, I guess, but I'm excited to see what direction this goes into because it could be wherever water may flow.
Right. Exactly. I think we have something here. I don't know what it is, but I think that's the
Yeah,
most
I mean,
exciting part about it.
It's
It's
an
like
absolute mystery.
it is. And just the fact that it's up to us to find out what that's going to happen. You know, it's like you're right. The way the wind blows is like we can have something planned out, and this thing can take an entire left field turn, and it can be awesome in ways we never expected it to be. It could be awesome exactly like the way we expected it to be. It cannot be awesome at all. I'm just happy it's happening, and I'm looking to see where it's going. I think it'll be a good time.
Attaboy.
Now, I did not get a chance to look at the list. We make the list to talk about or have ideas of what we wanted to talk about for these Thrillinois podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to look at it before the deadline, like we said. But I think one thing I remember putting on there was my frustration with people who say they're from the city of Chicago. They say, I'm from Chicago, when you know they're not. I think that's one thing I want to talk about. Just because let's start with some Illinois related. We'll riff it from that. And my solution to that is you may have saw my Snapchat, or I noticed you deleted Snapchat, so I don't know if you actually got to see it.
No, I didn't.
I said people from Chicagoland still deserve to associate with Chicago, but you don't deserve to say you're from Chicago. They probably grew up going downtown. They probably grew up cheering for Chicago sports teams, grew up eating Portillo's, grew up fucking, everything Chicago. But if you're not from the city, you shouldn't say you are. So if you're from the city, if someone says, where are you from? Say, I'm a Chicagoan. Automatically, someone could say, oh, what neighborhood are you from? Because they know you're from the city. You said, I'm a Chicagoan. Now, if you're not, say, where are you from? Someone just says, oh, I'm a Chicagolander. Oh, what city are you from? They know you're from Chicagoland. They still associate you with Chicago, but it's a little word switch. It's just a way to identify yourself. Because you know what? As hard as I am on like suburban kids, and they deserve it half the time, they still deserve to associate with Chicago. And they still deserve an identity past suburban kid from the burbs. And I think Chicagoland, like that genuinely stretches from south east Wisconsin to northwest Indiana. That's a whole group of people that aren't like the rest of the Midwest. We deserve to have a label for it. Everyone still gets to say Chicago in their identification. You can still identify with the city. You're just specifying where you are in relation to the city. I want you to identify yourself.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like a lot of people check in that they cash in that check pretty hard. I especially saw it like everyone from Naperville that went to U of I really leaned into that hard. They have the flag and they love the Cubs. That was really it. You can really tell who they are because they have to buy it.
Right. When they tell you how great Wrigleyville is, you just know they're not from this city.
Well, they try to buy it. They're like, oh, if I go to enough games, if I wear enough jerseys, if I know enough stats, I'll earn my right. Like I can finally say I am XYZ. And part of me thinks they can, like I don't know Sox stats. I go to the games though. I know where to park. How about that? That's
right.
I don't have to take the metro to get there. I know where to go. I can take the red line if I want.
Right. Well, I feel like that's the thing is these people probably gone to Cubs games since they were young. They probably, right, I'm sure. They deserve, in a sense, if you grow up in Los Angeles County and you say you're from Los Angeles, no one really bats an eye, but Los Angeles County is still Los Angeles in a sense. But you're not from like Los Angeles, the city. I don't actually know if this is a good comparison because I've been to LA once in my life. Let's put it like this. If you don't live in a 606 zip code, or if I say to you, who is your mayor, and you don't say Lori Lightfoot, then you are not paying Chicago taxes. And you shouldn't lie. And that's really my issue here, and say, I am from Chicago. You should be able to say, I am a Chicagolander. I'm a Chicagoan. You're still saying, I am Chicago in a sense. It's still a part of you. You're still it's like breeding in you. But like you're saying, this concept of like buying your way into the city, buying your way into being able to say you're from the city. Like, I'm sorry, until you live in the city. And even then, did you go to CPS at any point in your life?
Yeah, right. You're not taking the CTA.
Right. Have you ever been south of the Eisenhower Expressway? Have you ever been with Sox camp?
Yeah, do you know what Maxwell's is?
Right.
Yeah, I think that does kind of get under my skin a little bit. Oh, you know what? And some older people I know, they will ask if you're from the city proper, which I thought was always a fun little, like, are you from it, or are you from like Alsip, or are you from like Evanston or something? It's just a little out of bounds, but enough to kind of you can land on the fence a little bit.
Right. But
What's
it's like, I don't know, like, it's that's like the dance that these fucking suburban kids have to play, that Chicagolanders have to play when they say, oh, I'm from Chicago. Oh, me too. And then suddenly they shit themselves because they know they fucked up. It's like, why do they deserve to fucking have to go through that shit? Why do we deserve to have to fucking correct them? Why do we have to get mad because someone claimed our city? And why should they get scared because they lied and claimed someone else's city? Just say you're a Chicagolander. I am a Chicagoan. That continues the conversation, because the next question that'll come out of someone's mouth who's knowledgeable would be, oh, what neighborhood or what city? Someone who doesn't know the difference is just going to hear Chicago and move on. So, which is what you wanted anyways. You're really just saying it for the benefit of those that live in Chicago and Chicagoland.
What's the worst experience you've had with that?
An enclave within the city, but it's not like technically Chicago. It's almost like how Evergreen to the north, south, and east is all Chicago. But it's even worse because it's literally surrounded by all sides. You can't leave the city of Norridge Park without entering Chicago. So it's weird. But I wouldn't give it to him because his mayor wasn't Lori Lightfoot or Rahm at the time.
Sure.
But even then, some of those I'll like forgive. Like I know kids that say that are from Evergreen that say they're from Chicago, and I've given them a pass. Whatever, it's close enough. But like, there's only so many suburbs I'm going to allow that for. Because the second you're, like you said, Naperville, I'm not giving that to you.
You're not. Yeah, you're not even trying.
Right. Crystal Lake, that's 2 hours away.
Yeah, Grace Lake or like Vernon Hills. No, once you get into Vernon Hills and like, you're essentially in Wisconsin. You're not even in Illinois.
Like, I remember
anymore.
seeing someone said like Chicagoland extended as far as DeKalb, Illinois. That's not true. I lived in DeKalb. I went to school in DeKalb. It's corn people, cornfields, and fucking literal. We had Corn Fest every year in DeKalb. That's not Chicago in the slightest.
Champaign-Urbana also had a corn festival every year, and one time Smash Mouth came down and they played the Shrek song, and the lead singer, I forgot his name, I might look it up, but he passed out on stage because he had a heat stroke and he was drunk in the middle of the Shrek song at the Champaign-Urbana Corn Festival.
I think his name is Steve Harrell. I know that off the top of my head. But
all right, I'm gonna hold you to that.
But Jesus Christ, that's funny. You're talking about All-Star?
Yeah, All-Star. That's
out to All-Star. Hey,
yeah.
now, you're an All-Star.
Mitch DeVillo with a 3-pointer. It is Steve Harwell.
God, no, I'm actually more sad than anything that I'm right. I don't know how I knew that.
Wikipedia lists Smash Mouth as funk metal. Now,
have you ever heard the song Walking on the Sun? Because I can absolutely see where they're trying to make that argument.
Is that them? It came on XRT the other day, and I thought I was having a like fever dream. Walking on the Sun. Bow. Is that the one that's bow wow no wow no wow?
Yes, that's Smash Mouth, believe it or not. It's weird to think that they sold out for that like sweet DreamWorks money. Like how much money could DreamWorks possibly afford to be like, no, you're All-Star now. I want this song.
But they got nothing else going for them, right?
I guess. I don't know. It was a good start. Maybe that is what they were looking for. They wanted the good songs they could sell out immediately, like a real band.
Like a real band. Walking on the Sun, All-Star, Then the Morning Comes. Oh yeah, and they did I'm a Believer too. Man, they were crushing it.
Have you ever seen the music video to I'm a Believer?
No.
So first, that's a Monkey song, first, and they covered it for Shrek 2. I'm pretty sure. So the Shrekamania shit was like all in full swing for the music video.
Mm-hmm.
They've got like dudes dancing in like Shrek costumes, and it's just it's like a parody of itself. Like it's already like Smash Mouth is fully aware they're just Shrek band now.
Yeah. Isabella, her friend, had a birthday the other day, and she loves Shrek. So they rented out some bar in Crestwood, and it was all Shrek themed. So everyone was wearing Shrek masks, everything was green, and like get out of my swamp, donkey. Nah. Nonsense.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I remember when Shrek really hit its meme stride back in 2013, 2014, right?
Right. But like 2013, 2014, I remember. No, I know. I'm getting a drink. But like, what was it? Like, it was truly like the Shrek is love, Shrek is life that I think really got this ball rolling.
Kicked it off for sure. So,
and I mean, like, that's such a powerful video. Just to think, because really, what was popular before that was Shrek? Like, when did that video of him dancing to that SpongeBob robot song come out?
Oh yeah, I think that came out later. I think that was a 2015, the tail end of the Shrekdom, Shrek canon.
Yeah, it's just
working on it.
Crazy concept. Just looking back, it just turned 20.
The movie,
the original Shrek, just turned 20 years old.
Really, that's wild. A few years ago, there's a video on YouTube called Shrek. Oh God, what is it? Shrek and Friends. I don't know what it's called, but there's like 114 people all got together, and they recreated various scenes of Shrek, and someone stitched them all together. So it's like this fan-made movie in 114 different art styles.
The internet is an incredible place. Like that, the only thing I can think that's like comparable, and it's not even like to the same scale, is like I've seen like steamed hams by like 14 different animators.
Oh yeah.
And like that in and of itself was impressive. But you're talking about now the whole Shrek movie.
Over 200 people remade Shrek in a collaboration called Shrek Retold. And it came out 2 years ago. Yeah, that's dedication. I mean, some people fall in love with it. Also, steamed hams, I think, is the closest thing to get that kind of traction. Because they got Jeff Goldblum to read all the lines of Principal Skinner.
He did do that, didn't
he? Yeah, and he like loved it. My favorite version is steamed hams, but it's the gorillas.
Oh no.
Steamed hams. So
it's so weird, just like the little obscure shit. Like the internet finds its way. Like if something is on like the pulse with a certain type of humor, it doesn't matter how old it is, it will come back around.
Yeah, or like someone will remember, and then there'll be this. It's like throwing a pebble in a pond. There's just these waves that come up because of it. Did you ever look up what the word meme means?
I have not.
It's like an older term. It's like a unit of like cultural. It's a cultural unit of information that is like susceptible to being spreaded and manipulated. And like it's most popular with like humor, you know, like haha, troll face. But you do that for 10 years and you have that access to anyone that is looking for it, and it transforms into what it is today, which is like God knows what, you know, like it's like it's cultural evolution, and it has such a fast half-life that you can see it change, you know, or like they have like academics looking at it, and one of the words they use is like you can study how fast a joke or like a meme dies, you know, or if like it's a dead meme, or if something keeps staying afloat, is a combination of like how relevant it is, you know, it's not just like a one-trick pony, and two, how much access do people have to it that they can add onto it, that it's not just this I'm trying to think of a good word for it, you know, like it has the ability to be manipulated and constantly manipulated, modded almost. And that's what gives it its edge. Richard Dawkins invented the term meme, the like giga atheist dude.
You ever sit down and like think about just the concept of memes like we're talking about, and I'm like I've seen terms to describe like the era of meme that we're in, like the post-irony era, I think they've called it, where like things are like almost ironic to the point of it being unironic and it being ironic again. Like I don't know, like it's post-irony,
like a lot of layers.
Like, no one's serious. Like no one's ever serious about what we're saying. No, nothing is ever serious. But it's almost like you can kind of see where like we're old enough to like remember like the original problem troll face. And I can now just like I think and look at like I'll be on Discord and I'll see the troll face meme that is turned into this evolution of he's like staring off into the distance with the shadow over his face. It's just fascinating to me to see just the evolution of it all. And like you're saying, it's just constantly evolving. And it's, you know, constantly being able to be manipulated. Almost the fact that because it's so easily recognizable, even though there's so many variants of it, you know, it's just fascinating to me. The concept of itself. It's like, it's the only thing that's truly shared is the concept of a meme, that everyone has a take, everyone has a say. It's an inside joke, everyone's sharing. You look at a meme and you can see the evolution of a meme, and you had to be there to know the little intricacies of why that meme is funny. If you see what's his name, Mishu from Legend of Zelda, just fucking moving really fast, I start cracking up, and it's like I can hear the beatboxing in my head. And I don't
right.
I wonder if I showed that to like a 12-year-old, if they'd understand why that's funny, or if they
Not in the slightest. A lot of it, I think, is an acquired taste. Like, you're right. Like, I think once a joke is established, or like some sort of meme has enough general understanding to it, then you can really lay on the irony in different ways. Like, I think the best example, they call it surreal, but that's just when you like deep fry a meme and then put the letter E at the bottom. That's genius. That belongs in the MoMA. That's fantastic. And sometimes you can use it and manipulate it and get weird enough that you can make something out of it, like Death Grips. Death Grips. Everyone was like, listen to this like garbage band," and enough people listened to it and was like, and enough people listened to it, and then enough people realized, I kind of like this garbage, and then that, then it becomes popular, and it doesn't have to have like a meaning to it. It's enough people understand. It's like an inside joke that is so well communicated, you don't need to like interact with another person to do it. It's really ahead of its time. I think it like, if it does not how do I say this? It belongs in textbooks. And I think it's going to belong in textbooks some way down the line.
I agree. We talk about and it's gonna sound like super dumb off the tongue, but like we talk about the Italian Renaissance and the art that was produced during it, and we talk about like this new age, new idea, new thinking, and it's like our historians not gonna look at like this point in time in the grasp that the internet took on society and the way that we viewed ourselves and humor and art styles. It's, I feel like humans have always had a sense of humor to them, which is evident by, when people will pull up like memes from the 1800s or early, 20th century. Like I remember seeing one where it was basically the soy Wojaks like screaming, and it was the Soviet Union, for a meme from like 1935, and it was like a Chad Soviet Union saying celebrating 15 years of the union. It was literally like it mirrored. It's a flat circle. What we saw with the Wojak Chad, and
right. It was painting dirty capitalists as like little weaklings, and then like Stud Manley is the working Soviet or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, or like, yeah, like portraying your opponent as this bumbling, crying idiot, and you're the big man. You're right. You're Chad. You're
yeah. I'm right. I'm Stud Manley. I'm Chet You Betcha, and you're a fucking worm.
It almost makes you wonder, like, have we always been like this? But fucking just society has just been like ever evolving around us. Like I always thought the best depiction of that was Futurama, where the technology has always gotten better, but like everyone's still living their life. It's mundane. It's whatever. Like people still just do day-to-day shit. They travel through space, but no one even thinks twice about like how amazing technology that is. They're just like, yeah, I got to go to work. I work over on Mars. It's like like they almost portrayed life and people as never changing, and in a world that is ever changing. And I always thought that was a very interesting take on time travel in the future in and of itself.
Yeah, I agree. I love that a lot. I mean, I think that's where a lot of that humor gets at, is that like we're still like monkeys. we can shoot lasers and go at the speed of light as much as we want. We're like we're gonna travel at light speed just to grab a Pepsi on the other side of the universe. Like we don't care.
Like you can beam yourself into this video game, and no one can. Like we almost have the exact same thing now. We have VR, where people can just throw on their fucking helmet and then suddenly they're in this augmented reality. Imagine, I couldn't even imagine what a person from the 50s, would even this. Imagine seeing their technology. Someone, if they, without having to see the transitional period of it all, was just plopped from 1951 to 2021, they'd be blown away. But there's hundreds of thousands of people still around today that were alive in 1951. And they just use this technology like it's no big deal. They don't even think twice about the technology. They probably own an iPhone. As much as we laugh at Joe Biden saying, go home and put on your record players, he still talks about, he still tweets from his phone. And he like the man, it changed with him. He grew up with it, and he grew up in a world that was changing with him. I'm sure Joe Biden in 1951 would have been blown away by the shit that 79-year-old Joe Biden has. But 79-year-old Joe Biden is just thinking, yeah, it's life. Shit gets better. And that's almost like, it's almost like the nihilist view, but in the sense, almost the most comforting to me. Like things are always kind of mundane and things are always kind of just the way they are. But in a sense that it breeds familiarity to me. That if life is always, you almost have to laugh at just things are never going to change. Like there's almost like in this post-ironic world we're talking about, that's almost the funniest thing to me, is that this shit's never going to change. That in 1,000 years, there's going to be some asshole trying to wield all the power. There's always going to be a bunch of people who are lower than them. There's always going to be someone going to work and coming home and saying, God, I hate my life. God, I hate my kids. And there's always going to be some asshole coming home and saying, God, I wish my car was nicer. There's just shit that, I'm sure there were people who said, I wish I had 2 horses back in the day. Said, I wish my wife churned the butter better. The problems might change, but people and their complaints are always going to stay the same. And that's almost like comically comforting to me.
It sounds a lot like existentialism.
Maybe. Probably. I don't know. Maybe. I don't, because I feel like existentialism usually comes with like the word crisis. Like I'm having an existential crisis. But I almost feel like it's not quite that. Like I feel like I'm not freaking out about things never changing, more so than it puts me at ease almost. Like not that we can't change the world, and the world won't change, just people's attitudes about the world will never change. So it's like there's always going to be a sense of knowing what to expect, a sense of knowing what you're dealing with. If an alien race came in and tried taking over the world, no one on this planet would know what to do. No one would have any idea, because it's nothing we've ever experienced before. But we as a human race have experienced humans since the beginning of humans. Since the second human being, humans have dealt with other humans. And I feel like, I'm sure the first 2 humans hated each other.
Homo sapiens killed everyone. Right. Or fucked them into oblivion. Like Neanderthals don't exist. I am like 10% Neanderthal, and that is more than most people. Did you ever see like an early human or early Neanderthal? It looks like something out of a Stephen King novel. It has like eyes are up here and your mouth is down here. It is so uncanny. It almost looks human, but it's not quite human. It really is. I remember this guy, Yavil Noah or something like that. His book Sapiens talks about like early humans, and they have this like concept of it that like scientists stitched together. Of just like an early man. It looks like a 80s sci-fi prop. It's like it really spooked me. I'll send you a photo of it. But yeah, it took no shit. I mean, I think if aliens come here, it's not gonna be good because we're stupid and we're spastic. Did you ever watch Men in Black?
I've seen. I can't like tell you the plot throughout like its entirety, like major plot points. I know Will Smith like is a cop.
Yeah.
And he like stumbles upon like the fucking alien branch of the MIB, or the MIB is the alien branch. Something like, I think that's the premise, and he's an alien hunter.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. That's not bad. Yeah. So Will Smith is this wisecracking cop. He's like, oh, what does he say? NYPD. This means I can knock your punk ass down. He's like that guy, like 1996, really sassy. And then Tommy Lee Jones just plays himself, and they team up. Yeah, and they hunt aliens. But Tommy Lee Jones gives Will Smith some advice. He says, a person is smart, but people are stupid, spastic, and something along those lines. But like, I don't think humans will handle aliens pretty well. Like, I think when Europeans came over to Mexico, and all like the Aztecs and the Mayans or whoever they came in contact with the Spanish, they like brought him to the city and they like gave him fruits and stuff, and they're like, oh, welcome to the temple, this is the king. And the Spanish were like, very cool, ours now. Like it didn't fare well, or like
Right.
maybe aliens have some foreign disease and just turmoil goes into play. I mean, we're also not, it's not the 1700s. It's not like the 1500s anymore, but I don't know. I'm not excited. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Well, I mean, like, think about the way that this the human race, well, I say human race, but let's specifically focus on like the US citizens handled the introduction of corona, of COVID, an alien substance we've never dealt with before, something similar we've seen before but never dealt with this specifically. People either didn't take it seriously or freaking out so bad about it that they were fucking buying toilet paper out of stock. I think that that's a good indicator of fucking if we ever face a foreign threat or a threat in general that we don't recognize, are not familiar with, we're probably going to shit the bed. Which I know that doesn't breed a lot of confidence into the human race. But
yeah, crabs have a better chance of surviving than the humans do.
Yeah.
How do you think J.B. Pritzker will announce the alien coming? And how much is J.B. Pritzker like? Who's the mayor from The Simpsons? Quimby? Is he
Mayor Quimby?
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Mayor Quimby.
I agree. He is like Mayor Quimby. That's funny.
Rotund and corrupt.
He's Rod Blagojevich, but it's like Rod Blagojevich ate Rod Blagojevich.
Mitch, you clown. I said that last night. I am not joking. I said that same exact thing. He looks just like him, just wider.
Yes.
Same haircut.
It is. It's like, did we not watch? Like, I get it. Bruce Rauner was an asshole, but should we not have just like listened to that tape that he was rolling on commercial, where him and Rod Blagojevich are like, yeah, what's that position you're selling? Yeah, I want that one. That's like 2006. 12 years later, we're like, go ahead, JB, legalize
Hey,
pot.
run it. Fuck it up, JB. He
You
ran
know
on a
what?
platform of I will make weed and gambling legal. And the whole state was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, the prisoners are in charge now. Yeah, JB, run it.
Yeah. You know what? That's the thing. I think JB and the rest of Illinois gambled too hard on the fact that, like, oh, pot's legal. Everyone's going to buy pot from us now. But like JB made it legal, but then like made the prices double what they are off, what you were buying from your guy anyways. So all he did was stop the arrest from happening, which is cool. It's really helpful. Thank you, JB. But fucking, it's not like it's bringing any money to this state that desperately needs it. So I think the next thing that he needs to do is legalize gambling full time, like he said he was going to.
Is he not yet? I don't get it.
I think he was aiming for, like, I think Lori and him were going for the city of Chicago to have a casino, but I don't think that's happening. As of right now, I haven't heard anything of it, and I think COVID derailed the plans mostly.
Oh, yeah.
I know, like, Joliet has a casino, but, like, it's not
I'm
like
not going to Joliet.
Yeah, the Las Vegas of the Midwest.
It's just Sodom and Gomorrah. No.
Oh,
Absolutely not. Speaking of gambling, have you been watching Dogecoin?
So it's probably the most heartbreaking thing that's ever happened to me. Is 12 hours before it fucking soared, I fucking sold all 10,000 of my Doge.
10? Was it?
Yeah. I had 10,011 Dogecoin.
What did you make off it?
What did I pay for it? $22.
No. What did you rake in?
What did I get from it?
Yeah.
Like 26. I made no money. I shit the bed completely on it. I tried buying back in at one point, and I think I made like $40, but the fact, no, it is because I had 10,000 Doge.
That rules, dude.
Yeah, that hurt. That's not one of those things I'm proud of. It feels like I get punished quite a bit by life for being impatient or for sticking my foot in my mouth. So I'm glad I learned these lessons, but it sucks so bad.
I think you should still go in now.
Honestly, I'm thinking about it. I have some stock right now that I'm just dying to get rid of, and frankly, I think that just might be the move.
I think so. I think if you get it in now and you wait another year and it shoots up to $2, it's not, it's at 50 cents right now. If you get it at $2, it's still something.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, most of my shit right now is invested in gold and the chance that the dollar crashes. Which, I mean, not that it's going to, or that I think it's going to, but gold obviously is always the one that's sturdy. Should
standard.
Yeah. So I've already made like $20 off gold, which is cool, but that's not like, it's not $5,000 Dogecoin that I could have been rolling in.
5,000? Did you do the math and that was it?
Well, you figured the $26 I spent in 10,000 Dogecoin. If it's at 50 cents right now, that'd probably be 5,000 Doge. I don't want to talk about it. I fucked up so bad, Sean. It's the next day when I found out that it shot, because you know who fucking started talking about it was Elon. The day I
Yeah.
sell it, Elon's like, "Hey, buy Doge, everyone." Like he couldn't have done it 48 hours before. Like he had a fucking but he like I don't know how this pump and dump strategy isn't illegal, but they're just like, no, it's okay because Elon's doing it.
I think it's 100% illegal. I don't think anyone cares because that's the best part. I don't think enough people realize it is a currency, and I don't fucking care if it is. I don't recognize it. Like I'm not gonna use it to buy my groceries. I can't go to Bed Bath and Beyond and buy pillowcases with my Dogecoin. But you know what I can do? I can cash out on it, and I'm gonna do that, and then that will buy me some Wacky Mac at Aldi or what have you. Yeah, and I think if enough people, even if it is just some honky tonk fiat currency, I think if enough people invest and believe in it, then it will become legit.
I agree. I think that the only thing that makes money is the fact that people want it.
Yeah, that people agree on it.
Right. If a town said we're only accepting monopoly money forever, and we're never accepting the US dollar again, people would suddenly just accept that as okay, in that town we have to use monopoly money. And I don't think business would change at all. I just think people would have to know they need monopoly money to operate.
That's why gold is what it is today. You know that?
Because everyone agrees that it's valuable.
Well, the Romans loved it. They just thought that because there wasn't a lot of it in that area, so they would go to India all the time, which had a stupid amount of gold, and the Indians didn't care for it, and so they gave it away. But eventually, they got smart, and they realized, well, this big empire, a lot of people like it over there, and they have goods, and we have a lot of this gold that we don't care for. We can make a deal here, and so people that didn't value it met with people that really valued it, and it evened out to a point that they both valued it the same. If Romans want gold, we can have all of their, I don't know, swords and pasta and bad automobiles, whatever they have over in Rome. And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with Dogecoin eventually, that enough people care for it that Ford or Tesla is going to be fine, here, buy a car with it. I do not care.
Right. It's the fact that you can buy shit with Bitcoin is incredible to me.
They still don't know who made it. Isn't it? It's under that pseudonym Shitashi Nakanome or something like that.
It's just such a comforting idea.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know who provided this shit.
Yeah. Hey, for all I know, Bill Clinton could have invented Bitcoin, and still something that was used to buy guns and acid is now a way to mortgage your home. Wild.
Yeah. I saw a story about some business owner was paying his employees in crypto because he's like, it's worthless. I'm basically getting free fucking, labor. But fucking all the employees kept the crypto, and then it skyrocketed. And he sent an email. He's like, hey, can I get my fucking Bitcoin back? And everyone's like, no. What?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Go away. Yeah, you paid me, clown.
Right. Bosses are fucking bold nowadays, man.
Yeah. It depends, man. It depends. I don't know. I've had good bosses. I've had bad bosses. It depends. The boss right now is pretty. I'm happy with him. He's like a family friend, so I guess I can't.
Right.
I'm in a unique position where I can't really say, but like my old boss was like, he was a pretty young guy. He was like 26, and he was kind of just like a dude. Oh, hey, Sean, welcome to the office. It sounded like a Muppet, and he wasn't a bad boss, but he would like call me in, and I'd have to like, oh, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, progress report time. We could be making more money. And I'm like, yeah, we could, huh? He's like, yeah. All right, goodbye. Oh, all right. We're gonna go back to my desk. And whatever. Speaking of bosses, how's Greg? Is he still taking over? Is he still on his crusade? This Napoleon character of a boss you have?
They're doing well. The pandemic hasn't really affected business for them because if you know, like Vince McMahon, like as a wrestling persona,
Yeah.
almost reminds me of like that same level of lunacy. Like he's not a real person. And I have to tell myself he is, because otherwise I would never believe the stories I'm telling about him.
Some of those are the best. Like how they own a serf. how the are feudalist kings.
I mean, a system that's been out of style for 200 years. No one lives on the Lord's land and works in exchange for living. And yet there it was. There was serfdom 2021.
Right here in civilization, in the sweet city of Chicago.
I mean, it's truly it. I think back to it, it's like it probably opened my eyes more than anything. That like never give anything to your employer. Like that's insane to me.
Dude, didn't he lose a foot?
He did. He's so fat and diabetic. They fucking chopped off his toe. He lost like fucking 3 toes, and then he's like, all right, you can't work anymore, you gotta go.
What?
Yeah, cut the fucking loss.
No.
40 years. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that. Unbelievable. He ate from his boss. He ate from the king's hand and lost it all because of it, huh?
The man used to. So I don't hate anybody. I think hate's such a strong word. But this serf in question was the most miserable fucking human being to ever exist. And I hate
Hell
him.
Yeah.
He used to do his inspections, right? We have 4 stores. He'd make his inspections. He'd show up to my store, make himself a small pizza, and eat it in the office while he watched us on camera. Great. And then he'd say, all right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna check the other stores. And then he'd go to a different store, make himself a small pizza, and go in the office and watch everyone on the camera. And then he'd go to the other store, make himself a small pizza, go in the office, watch everyone on camera. Rinse, repeat. Mm-hmm. We had a fucking machine at our store. After he finishes the pizza, he'd go up and he'd get some cherry sours from the dispenser. The man didn't take care of himself. The man thought he was taking care of himself by ratting on everybody for the slightest inconvenience and hoped to get brownie points for the Lord that he was serving. And what did that get him in the end? He's missing his fucking foot and he has no place to live.
Wait, they kicked him out too?
Yes. At least it's my understanding that Mr. Sympathy said, well, I'll sign unemployment if you want it.
You know what? Let's take a quick break. I'm going to use the bathroom.
Of course. You're all good?
Yeah. So, and what's his name? So he had a surf, and
what has he been up to?
What's the serf's name?
Uh,
Right. He's our
yes,
this is a Greek tragedy. This is
it
fantastic.
it is. I mean, truly, honestly, and truly, it. I mean, never have I thought a man I have such little sympathy for could I feel so bad about his situation. How evil must you be to let a man give you his everything and then kick him out when he's no longer of use?
Yeah, so he lost his foot, and then boss man was just like, you can't you like all he did was watch cameras.
Yeah. Well, he was responsible for making sure the stores were running. If he had to do bitch work for him, he was doing the bitch work. I need you to call in, make sure firemen get their pizzas. I need you to call in, make sure that the Johnsons are, getting their discount. I need you to go in and we're short a cook here. I need you to cook there. It's he would just do whatever was asked. They even gave him a day off. All he had to do, his health insurance was paid for. His phone was paid for. They gave him a place to live. He had a cell phone, which was only 3 numbers different from his cell phone. So his phone bill's the same family plan. It's like all he had to do was not eat himself into diabetes, and he quite literally fumbled the bag.
Not a big ball, but he definitely fumbled it for sure.
It's like all you had to do was not be miserable and not fucking eat yourself into losing your toes. And he couldn't do that.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I've never heard of such a thing. 40 years on the service, and then you lose a few toes, and so what? Now he's on the street, or is he at the YMCA?
Man, I have no idea. Lord knows that they're not talking about him because they don't give a shit. So
no way.
All my information that I've been getting is based on my fellow cooks. And you have to understand, a lot of this I'm translating from what I heard in Spanish and repeating it back into English. So a lot of this information may not be necessarily as accurate as it can be, because I am telling it a secondhand account.
Sure, through the grapevine.
Yes. But it's my understanding that, he's been kicked out. He's already fucking, I think he's on the phone plan. That's all they really allowed him to stay on. As they said, you can keep your phone. We'll pay for your phone bill. But fucking, he's got to find a new place to live, a new job. He's gonna have to fucking pay rent now, because I'm sure before he fucking wasn't.
Jeez.
Which honestly, I actually think that's a worse concept to me. I hate landlords as it is. This. But
yes.
The idea that fucking you're not paying rent, but you're doing everything, you're giving your life to this person, is somehow worse. It's absolutely worse. It's like landlord on steroids.
I've never heard of it before. It's true tomfoolery.
His treatment probably inspired me to get my own food truck more than anything. I cannot depend on these people. I cannot give my all to these people. I can't even give any more of myself to these people because they don't give a shit.
It's true. Yes. Someone loses their leg and they just cut them off like a bad habit.
Fucking, I don't know. That's capitalism for you. It's not profitable, so why are you hanging on to it?
True. Yeah. No charity, huh?
No charity.
Not an ounce of it.
Fucking, that's social Darwinism, I think, is what that's called. Survival of the fittest.
Oh,
I say that with a sarcastic tone because I think social Darwinism is probably the most dangerous myth of our time. The idea that we can say, "Oh, fuck, it's every man for himself." That's bullshit. You know, I've been reading Kropotkin and his idea of mutual aid, and just they talk of mutual aid as if it's, you know, utopian, but he brings up in nature you see mutual aid constantly. In Siberia, these organisms use each other for warmth and survival in order so they can make through the harsh climate, the harsh realities of their world. You know, and this idea that that human beings are too fucking stubborn and selfish to do the same is asinine to me.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think a lot of our systems run on like competition, and it doesn't have to, but it's kind of like a teaching. No, it's not like teaching an old dog new tricks, but I think there's this idea that is still lingering that you need to compete with everyone. You know, like that it is almost every man for himself, and I don't think that's I don't know. I don't think that's sustainable.
Right. I mean, you figure that's in a capitalist society, you always should strive for more, and just the way that's set up is competition based. The idea that it'll create hierarchy, that it'll create, well, I need to earn this much money, and if I earn this much money, I'll be in this, you know, spot, or I'll be in this spot. You're always competing. The quote from Henry George is, "Man is the only animal that is never satisfied. That'll ask for more even when they are given what they need to sufficiently." And it's just, you know, maybe money isn't the motivating factor we hoped it would be. You know, maybe it has only caused competition amongst ourselves. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. I believe in healthy competition. I believe there's like a with anything. I think like within. I think there's a healthy means of like of good competition.
don't get me wrong. I agree wholeheartedly in competition, but the idea that we must compete to live is such a barbaric concept. Like, I love the idea of the Olympics, the idea that the nations send the best of their best to compete amongst each other, and only the best athlete of the best sport will come out with the gold medal. Like, that's in and of itself, I think, is cool as fuck.